Hi everybody, gonna give you another idea, another improv pattern so you can take it and you can go make some music on your own, improv some stuff, make your own song, make a loop, whatever you want. Let's get started. So that is the tip, that's the idea for today. Again, I'm gonna talk about what I did, and then I'm gonna talk about why I think it sounds good, and then I'm gonna talk about what you can do, what you can use, what's the sort of the concept behind it, and you can take it to improv some stuff. So let's go through this. I am playing this in the key of E minor, right? Or you can E minor. We have one accidental is F sharp, and sometimes we do the D sharp in it. The chords is a little bit more complicated, a little bit more complex. The chords are like this: it's E minor, and I'm going to a B over D sharp, and then I'm going to a B minor over D, and then I'm going to an A over C sharp, and then I'm going to a C, and I'm going to an E minor over B, and then I'm going to a B sus chord, and I'm going to B7, E minor. A common chord progression, but it's a little harder to wrap your head around theoretically, but one simple way you can remember is just descending bass line. So E minor, B over D sharp, B minor over D, A over C sharp, C, E minor over B, this is like a big sus chord, B7. Cool, so what am I doing here? Let's take a look at the left hand. With those chords, I am playing a sort of an octave and a fifth voicing, or octave and a note in the middle. And how I'm breaking them down is I'm doing it like this. It's a very simple. It's just a pattern that I think we all are pretty familiar with when we start, especially with things like that's pretty much the pattern. So we play the root note, and then we just alternate the top two. And I'm counting 1E and 2E and 3E, and there's 16 notes. 1E and 2E and 3E and then the... Well, I should probably show the right key on my apologies. Let's try it again. So E minor, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E. The thumb first. There's the A over C sharp, and then the C. I'm just grabbing a note in the middle. E minor over B, B sus chord, and then B7. Very simple. Let's take a look at what we're doing in the right hand. In its simplest form, it's pretty much doing that same chord. Oops. 3-note chord, and I'm also doing the same pattern, but just flipped. So we're doing the pinky first, and then the thumb, and then the index finger, the 2-finger. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. You can do it in any voicing you want, as long as you keep that pattern. And when you put those two together, it sounds quite cool. Now the magic behind this is if you just play it like that sounds pretty good, but the magic is when you add some melody lines with the pinky and maybe sometimes the 4-finger. So. I find that to sound, it's a very cinematic sound. I feel like you can sort of imagine strings playing in the background. So the idea here is you can add melody notes with the top of your hand while keeping some alternating pattern going. And when you do play it, you will take out your index finger in the pattern. 1 E and 2 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E and you see 1 E and 2 E and, or you can go 1 E and 2, 1 E and 2 E and yeah. So whenever you do the movement on the index on the pinky and on the forefinger, you would take out that index finger in your alternating pattern. Right, so that's what I've done. It sounds very nice because I feel like because it gives this sustain to the piano chord, as in when we play a chord like this. Now there's nothing wrong with that, but the sound doesn't really sustain. It just sort of dissipates and it's sort of gone. The chord, but when you do, there's still some kind of a movement. There's a lot of movement going on. The sound sustains. And those inner notes, you can also do crescendos and decrescendos in it to make them sound more epic and dramatic. And the third reason why I think that sounds kind of cool is because you have multiple layers in this piano playing. If we don't do that and just do a chord and the melody, you can really count this as 2 layers, the chord and the melody. But if you do this, you can, like, depends on how you count it, at least you're hearing 3 things. You're hearing the melody, you're hearing the bass note, and you're hearing this thing in the middle. Or you can say it's 4 things, like the melody, this here, and the bass note. And it's almost like a string quartet, like 4-part kind of a thing. Right. So that's what you can do. You can learn that, practice it. But what's the thing? What's the most fun about this is you can take this pattern, 2 notes in here, alternate, 2 notes in here, melody note. You can use that and you can make up anything and improv with it, and it sounds kind of cool. Obviously, it's really in that sound. It has a very particular sound, but it sounds kind of cool. So why don't we go somewhere completely different? Let's try something in the key of, I don't know, like E flat. Just pick any point to start. Let's do I don't know, 4 chord. Let's see where we go. Right? You sort of see the concept. I didn't think that up. I just made up something. So obviously I missed some notes, but it's cool. It's fun. It sounds nice, and it's a very simple concept. You do have to work around, have some work around, and once you're more comfortable with the technique, you can add certain stuff. One thing you have to be mindful of is you have to make sure you have two chord tones you can play. And so when I first started there, I was kind of close in here like this. Then I don't really have any 2 alternating notes. So you want to make sure you start somewhat far away. And also, if you are comfortable, you can add a bass note down here, like a. then just come back to do the alternating pattern. Also with the right hand, once you get more comfortable, you can extend the reach to beyond an octave, because it's a little bit trickier. Right? If you want to get away with, you don't want that big of a leap, that big of a stretch, you can follow the octave, the thumb with it. Right? So hopefully you can take this idea, run with it, play something with it, improv something. It's going to sound very cool. And if this is interesting, if you like this, let me know in the comment section down below. And I'm going to improv some stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.